Hey y'all, IrixGuy here. Now I got some big news for the channel, and it's something that I'm proud to announce, but I'm it's kind of like, is that a good turning point for IrixGuy's Adventure Channel? Or is it just kind of the cheeseburger world of America? You know, everybody goes to that fast food restaurant and they get whatever they want to eat and it's fast and it's easy. When I was offered this opportunity, well, number one, I was like, whoa. I mean, are you serious? Are you serious? That's what you're offering me? And then after digesting what was brought to the table, I stopped for a minute and I said, well, and I wasn't saying this publicly. I was saying this in my mind, but I was like, everything I've created, I've accomplished on my own through trial and error. It worked. It failed epically. Maybe a combination of both. But everything I've done so far, I've done on my own. And then to have such a big, in my mind, such a big opportunity come my way, and for me to be perceived as, in my mind, someone famous, that is crazy. And there's Sean Coonery. Sean Coonery's still, he's like, yeah. He said, I concur. How do you feel about this situation? But it's weird to go from GoPro hero, which is what I do. I mean, I film with my GoPros. I've been filming a GoPro Hero 2, Hero 3, and now Hero 4. And to be recognized on such a level that, in my mind, and I mean, maybe I'm too humble of a person, but in my mind, to be recognized in a way that makes me feel like, and I guess the best analogy, and I'm not trying to sound cocky, but the best analogy is to be like a Jimmy Fallon, like a talk show host. For me to be perceived according to this entity, and I'm not going to mention them, that's not my intent, but to be perceived in the same category as someone like that, I mean, it was just like, whoa. I mean, no, granted, I mean, I appreciate it. I know you're watching this too, and your agents are watching it, and I appreciate your viewership, but it's one of those things, it's like, for me, just a small town, I mean, I don't know what you want to call me. I mean, I'm a computer guy and a country dude or whatever. I don't care what you call me. But in my mind, to go from just YouTube guy to that, I mean, I would be, I mean, not just a celebrity, but like I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. It would be kind of like a sensation. Not only across the country, but across the world. And to think that what I did, all that I did is post all these YouTube videos. And this cat right here, Sean Coonery, the big Maine Coon cat. I put myself on the map. I put myself in front of the camera. And I tried to achieve something. And I didn't know what I was going after. But fame has become the product of my personal pursuits. And it's something that, I mean, honestly, right now, I mean, I am so stoked. I mean, my hands are kind of jittering because I'm like, I mean, this is such a big deal. I mean, if you were told, and just put yourself in my shoes right here. Sean Cooner, you got to sit for a minute. I got to engage my audience. So put yourself in my shoes. You've got a dream. And you want to meet and or exceed the goals that you've set for yourself. And then you get a phone call, in my case an email, followed up with a phone call. And it tells you that you're not only cool, but you're beyond cool in an exceeding expectations sort of fashion. How does one digest that? A lot of people may get cocky and they may be like, ooh, I'm too cool for everybody. But for me, it's an acknowledgement of success, but it's in it's to such a degree that I don't really know how to interpret it. And I know you're watching this right now. And I know your agents are watching this, and that's why I'm posting this. I appreciate you coming to me. And more than likely, I'm going to accept the opportunity, but it's such a big deal. And you've got to keep in mind, and when you're watching this 5 or 10 years from now on TV, and you see me, IrixGuy, and you look back and you say, we watched this video where he was contemplating whether or not he wanted to do this. Honestly, and I will tell you right now, I'm not, and you shouldn't say not, but honestly I will say I'm not certain if this is the extreme leap that I want to take at this point. But I'm going to take it because I know. It's kind of like, put yourself in my shoes for a moment here. It's kind of like abandoning a life of normalcy. Go out, you check your mail, you go out, you play golf, you go out, you go to the grocery store. But then you're accepting a life of a celebrity. So you go out, you don't go out, you send your bodyguard. You don't go out and check your mail, you go out and send your maid to do that. You don't go out and rent a car when you're traveling. You send your, whomever's taking care of you at the time. And you do that out of necessity because you can no longer live that life of normalcy where you're just an average Joe or an average Jane. You can't do that anymore because you've hit a level of perceived success and you can't just be normal. You've got, there's extreme wealth, this, that, and the other, but you don't have freedoms that, regardless how much money you have, you can't buy those freedoms because it's been taken away because you've become famous. And it's the brink of normalcy and fame that I'm pondering right now. Do I want to continue to be my own entity? From the perspective of unboxing, review, travel videos. Kind of weird talking southern dude. Talking about whatever on YouTube. Or do I want to accept the offer and become, I don't know. I mean, you tell me. If fame knocked on your doorstep, how would you respond? Would you accept the offer? Would you run away in fear? Or would you do what I'm doing and sincerely contemplate the pros and cons of both sides of the fence? Because ultimately, we're only given one life, unless you believe in reincarnation, and that's a different story. But if I came back, I would probably want to be a cat, and I would probably want to live with the person that I'm about to become. And that's just a factual statement because it's a turning point. Self-created fame to mass-marketed, hey, we want you, will you accept kind of fame. Do I lose creative control? If I choose to go forward with this, creative control is something that I will always maintain because it's my content, my personal interest that put me on this map, that put me in this playing field, and enabled me to be considered and offered this gracious offer. And if I accept, it will be me that will call the shots. And granted, I mean, I'll be agreeable and I'll acknowledge suggestions and possibilities for improvement, etc. But it'll be me that will call the shots. And I will be the one that determines my own destiny. But with that being the case, freedoms when you become famous, when one becomes famous? How do they exist in the world? Is it really that bad? I don't have any celebrity friends. I mean, I'm just average IrixGuy right now. But if I accept this offer, I'm no longer in that category. It's kind of like a tax bracket, you know. You kind of jump from one to the other. Celebrity status is the same way. But celebrity status, I don't know, what would you do? And when you're watching this video right now, and there's Sean Coonery, that's who I'm looking at over there. When you're watching this video, tell me what you think, and then watch where my channel goes, and tell me if I made the right decision, because this is a tough decision. And it's something that I don't feel like I was gifted this opportunity. I feel like I worked for it, and I worked for it in a very peculiar, that's a word, tough word to say, strange way. I worked for it in a strange way. I found opportunities, I jumped upon them, I gave it my best effort, and now I've been offered something that in the past I couldn't even comprehend, and I still can't comprehend because I don't know if I can handle the next step from a publicity perspective. I know I've got a lot of views. At the time of posting this, I've got over 12 million video views and over 18,000 subscribers, which in the scope of things is nothing. But put yourself in my shoes, the guy that has a good time in front of a green screen and enjoys passionately what he talks about, but has the opportunity to fast track that to another level with the kicker of fame. And how does one deal with that level of fame? I mean, it's it's one of those things that not even Sean Coonery, what do you think about that? See, he doesn't even know. He's a cat. And he's pretty famous, and I've asked for pointers, and he pointed his paw and said, no. But when you're in my position, if you're in my position, how do you respond? Do you say yes? Do you say no? Do you continue to, and I'll simplify it. Option 1, run your own show. Continue to run your own show. Option 2, accept the offer, become a celebrity. What do I do? There's 2 options. Tell me what you think, and share this video with others, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. YouTube.com/IrixGuy. Thanks for watching, and y'all have a good day.